33 minutes after the hour now, we are back with a Fox News alert. Much needed aid arriving to the hurricane-ravaged island of Puerto Rico. Desperate for food, water, and electricity. At least 16 people have died. That number expected to rise as the recovery continues. Government officials estimating that at least 10,000 people are on the ground helping with relief efforts right now.
The mayor of San Juan, Puerto Rico, firing back after President Trump slams her cooperation during the island's humanitarian crisis.
Fox News correspondent at large Geraldo Rivera is live in San Juan with an exclusive interview with Mayor Carmen Yulín Cruz. Geraldo, take it away.
You know, Abby, it's very distressing to me. I am underwhelmed by the coordination and the extent and the quantity and quality of the aid coming to Puerto Rico. But I understand some of the logistical challenges. After all, this is not like Texas, where you can drive, down from Oklahoma with a truck, or Florida, where you can drive down from Georgia with a truck to help out. We're a long way from the United States, 1,100 miles from Florida, an island. It's very difficult. But I must say, I'm right by the airport here, and I have not heard relief jets coming in, and it's already 7:30 Eastern time. I don't know why the skies aren't filled with relief aircraft. I know ships are coming in, but I tell you what, I really lament in this politically riven island, where you have a Republican governor and a hard left-wing Democratic mayor, she's blaming the mayor is blaming Donald Trump for the lack of aid. It's really sad. Here is my part one of my exclusive interview with San Juan's very critical mayor. How are you feeling about what's going on?
Well, it's the aid isn't getting here as quickly as it should be getting here. There are people at all municipalities literally starving, dehydrating. Of course, our power grid is off in most of the and even when it comes on in various portions of San Juan, it goes back out. So, for example, we have tried to have our hospital go back to speed, but then the electricity goes on, and we have to do all the bacteria testing, which takes 3 to 4 days. So we need to stabilize that. We need to stabilize the communications. We need to be sensible. You know, when FEMA asks people to register on the phone or to register via internet, in an island that has no power, common sense has to prevail. So we go back to the pen and paper and just do things the old-fashioned way, bring them to a data point where data entry people can take care of that. But it just seems like some common sense things that should be happening are not happening. But I want to make sure that I differentiate that between the structure response and the heartfelt response. FEMA people, HHS people all have their heart in the right place. I have gotten tremendous.
How about the President of the United States?
I think the President needs to get the information that he needs to get. And apparently he hasn't been getting it, or he hasn't been watching the news.
But are people dying? I've been traveling around. I don't see people dying. I spoke to the doctors. They saw 53 patients, and they had a person who was septic, but nobody dying. I wonder.
Well, dying is a continuum, right? If you don't get fed for 7-8 days and you're a child, you are dying. If you have 11 people like we took out of a nursing home severely dehydrated, you are dying.
So do you wish you had characterized that a little more?
It is. I said it the way it is. I don't have to characterize anything in any way that is not the reality. That is the truth. He who has eyes will be able to see it. He who has an open heart will be able to feel it. Those that prefer to be blinded to injustice, that's their issue. I have no time for that.
How much of that is politics? The fact that you and the president are different parties and...
Well, I'm not a member of the Democratic Party. I have democratic values, shared values with the Democrats. Senator Marco Rubio's office came here. He's not a Democrat. General Buchanan, don't take the word of a 5', 120 pounds mayor.
You're plenty big enough.
General Buchanan said yesterday, we don't have what it takes to deal with this situation. So don't take my word for it, take the general's word for it.
All right, that's part one of my interview with the mayor, who, as you heard, still claims people are dying, although the death count is 16, has been 16 since the storm. I could find no one dying, and she was highly critical of President Trump. Part two of my interview, which will, I'm sure, generate some controversy, is in the 9 o'clock hour. But as I said, I severely and profoundly lament the fact that that politics has introduced its ugly head. The situation is bad enough. Back to you guys on the air.
Geraldo, I want to get your thoughts on this. We had a FEMA administrator on just moments ago, and he issued the following statement. The mayor of San Juan has not participated substantially in any efforts of the Joint Field Office. Other mayors have been participating. What's your take on that?
Well, she's very feisty, she's very independent, and she's very partisan. I don't think that you can. Puerto Rico is an island, as I said, split in half. The elections are highly contentious. I think she has a loathing for Donald Trump, and in her mind somehow dismisses the effect of two historic back-to-back storms, and absolutely gives a green light, a free pass to the power authorities here, who have run a bankrupt agency, the Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority, bankrupt, $6 billion in debt, 16,000 miles of rotten lines that were sure to fail in the first blow. They went out even before the hurricanes happened. So I think that she needs an open heart and some gratitude. And I think that the problem is that the president chose to tweet about her, and that's what made a lot of people angry. Why is the president, punching down that way? I think it was unnecessary, and this is an unsavory controversy, and I wish it never happened. Back to you.
Well, Geraldo, it's so important to get your perspective there on the ground. Great interview. Thank you so much. We'll have more of that.